The just-released in the USA movie Dune, Part 2, is an interesting movie, based on the famous book by Frank Herbert, and sequel to Dune, 2021. To those not well read of the Herbert's Dune universe, it is similar to Star Wars, which the later got inspiration from Dune. It is a universe, far, far in the future, in a galaxy very, very distant away, to paraphrase the Star Wars tagline. This movie contains a lot more action than the first movie did, as well it should, but also makes some changes from the book, that while probably logical to make the movie filmable, digresses from the book. One character, Lady Margot Fenring, is an obscure character, and one other major character was written out of both parts of this movie series. Don't worry though, if you have never read the original book, one of 6, written by Frank Herbert, you will probably never miss them. You might notice there is a gladiator scene in this movie. That was in the Dune book and was left out of the 1984 movie. Some might think it was some type of homage to Ridley Scott's 2000 Gladiator movie, but it is not. I would argue that movie scene was more like Herbert's book if you have read it. However, one major difference is the character of the Baron Harkonnen, portrayed in this movie as a heterosexual, whereas in the book and 1984 version he was a vehement homosexual. The 1984 version even shows the character raping and murdering a young man in front of the Baron's own family. The gay movie critics of the 1984 era did not like that, and the cyst-covered body, leading the chorus against that movie, I think. If you are a Dune fanboy, and have read the original books plus new sequel novels, you will like the action of the movie, as it is faithful to an extent to the book. Parts of Part 2 look like a homage to the 1984 version of the book surprisingly, such as the Emperor's ship. That version had an outstanding cast and should have had better special effects, but has become a cult movie on its own. I recommend the later studio cut of the movie, with extended scenes and a prologue with paintings and narration explaining the Dune timeline, even showing the cover of the book itself. For those interested, there are even deleted scenes that make the movie better that are worth a look. If you are interested, I created a webpage that campaigned to get a new version of this movie made about 10 years ago. Please check it out. Should you see this movie? Yes, especially if you saw the first one. You might even want to view the 1984 version and the TV miniseries made in 2000 for the Sci-Fi Channel, that also had a sequel related to one of the other books. This movie is also available for viewing in IMAX, which would be a great thing to see. As for attendance in the theater, it is just now opening in the USA. From the theater I was in showing an early 6 p.m. showing, it was not a full house. I checked another theater showing a later show and it was about 1/3 full. Do not expect long lines or Star Wars crowds, as this movie is more of an arthouse movie.